Some hive beetles carry a virus causing deformation in bees' wings. Grazing and frequent grass trimming are other natural causes for habitation loss in field-habiting species and ground nests. Other factors such as pesticides that kill bees and herbicides that kill the plants that bees use are more man-made, but the effect is greater due to improper use of chemical pesticides. Although bee farms and artificial housings have positive results in bee reproducing, pollination, and honey production, in the process of making these farms, bees are stripped from their original environment and become stressed. The stress of moving globally and starting a new habitat in a new environment causes the bees to die. Another unnatural cause to the decline of pollinator species would be the importing of a foreign species to another country. Beekeepers do this for their farms, but the bees are put in the farms before they can adapt to their new climate or landscape. Climate change can affect bees both directly and indirectly. Examples of indirect qualities would be food or nesting, predators, and flooding. The new species also compete with native species for mates, food, and nesting sites. This causes the native species to move to a foreign area or die completely, competing for resources. Bees and other pollinator species benefit from nature itself as well as help from humans. Humans in this case are the bad guy. There are significantly less contributing factors that are beneficial in comparison to the damaging ones. But due to modern science, we are slowly making up for our mistakes and have begun to provide for the injured populations. One of the biggest contributing factors to the decline of pollinator species is pesticides. But with proper use and the intelligence of humans, they can be used properly and present little to no risk for bees. Bee importing and exporting also provides stress and death in most species, but with proper transporting and proper preparation for climate change and adaptation, bees actually improve and further reproduction in most crops. Deforestation is a huge cause of death, but modern-day architectural advances have provided complex suburban gardens, parks, and roadside verges with a variety of plant species for nesting pollinators. Pollination is a key element to natural ecosystem growth. Therefore, a decline in pollinators and bees means a decline in most crops and plant species. A seldom amount of crop species depend on pollination and self-pollinate or asexually produce. On the other hand, a vast majority, approximately 84%, depend upon animal pollination. Not only would caloric intake of humans and other animals be diminished, but the nutrition would be impoverished too if populations continue to decline at this current rapid rate. The need for honeybees in most European countries because of their native crops, pollination needs for 264 crop species. Honeybees will visit 2 million flowers and fly 50,000 miles to make 1 pound of honey. Animal pollination was found to be most essential in 13 crops worldwide: Ademoya, Brazilian nut, cantaloupe, cocoa, kiwi, macadamia nut, passion fruit, pawpaw, setopila, squashes, pumpkins, vanillas, and watermelons. These are the world's leading production crops assisted by pollinators. Put 2 and 2 together and you get an extremely high percentage of extinction of crop species. Decline in honeybee showed a 90% decline in crop population. Production of 48 of the 67 crops of the 5 leading global commodities increased the pollinating animals. Only 18 of the leading single crops are relevant to animal pollination. Unlike the good contributions of humans, there are multiple ways the world benefits from pollinators. As stated before, 75 to 80% of the world's leading production crops depend on pollinations in one way or another. There are 3 ways a crop can benefit from animal pollinators: production, increase of vegetation count, weight and or quality, seed number and or quality. increase in seed production with pollinators to produce the vegetative parts for consumption, and increase in seed production with pollinators for breeding alone. The increase in quality of seed and/or vegetation production is most essential for human growth. They are valuable to humans because they provide calories, protein content, and micronutrients. The pollen makes up for these factors. The greater the pollination process of bees or other animals, the greater the pollen quantity and quality. In the spring, most pollination and plant crop production is most abundant if pesticides and herbicides are used correctly. Queen's colonies are migrated and start during the spring, and reproduction takes place. If all factors come into place, bees and other pollination species can increase. This would cause an increase in pollination for crops, also causing humans and nature to benefit from this. From what I've learned, pollinators and most bee species populations have declined dramatically since the 1940s. This is mainly due to human contributions, but with learned knowledge and common knowledge, humans can help save natural pollination process of 75% of the world's leading production crops. In order to slow down the process of extinction or stop it in general, humans must collect some research data and study facts of declining populations. Bees and other pollinators are dying naturally and with human contributions. We must learn of ways to save them if we want our most valued crops worldwide to continue to thrive. Thank you.